Good Shabbos, everyone. So is the glass half full or half empty? And perhaps the answer is, when you look from the top down, it's half empty. When you look from the bottom up, it's half full. So too in life. When we look from a position of self-importance, of arrogance, of haughtiness, of wanting to be in control, of self-centeredness, then we look down and we notice what is lacking and we think the glass is half full, empty. But when we look up with faith in God, with gratitude, with appreciation, with awe, with wonder, then we notice that the glass is actually half full. This week's Torah portion is about the 12 spies who went on the mission to Eretz Yisrael. 10 of them came back with a negative report, and 2 of them came back with a very positive report. What is the difference between Joshua and Caleb and the other 10 spies? Perhaps the answer is that Joshua and Caleb looked with humility, with appreciation, gratitude, and awe and wonder in God. And therefore, they said the land is very good. It's flowing with milk and honey. They saw the good and the positive. However, the other 10 spies, they wanted to feel a sense of control, and therefore they felt insecure. They said, we felt like grasshoppers in their eyes. And the cities are fortified, the people are mighty. They saw their own vulnerability rather than God's greatness. The story of this week's Parsha teaches us a very timeless lesson for the times we find ourselves in now. Let us see the world half full, not half empty. Let us see the good, not the bad. Yes, there are challenges all around us, but it's our choice how we will view life and its circumstances. There's so much good to appreciate, so much good to see, even in these troubling and difficult times. You know, there's a story about when the American soldiers liberated the concentration camps. They were giving out soup to the inmates who were starving. And this one child had licked his bowl clean, but he was still hungry, so he came back to the side of the line where the American soldier, was dishing out the bowl of soup. And he asked for another bowl of soup. Well, the soldiers knew that they couldn't overfeed the inmates because their stomachs had shrunk during starvation in the camps, and overfeeding them could actually lead to their death. And so painfully, as much as the soldier wanted to give this beautiful child another bowl of soup, he could not help him. And so he did the only thing he could do. He crouched down and gave the child a big hug, and he started to cry as he embraced this child. And the child, who had not felt a hug in years, missed his mother and father, and the warm embrace of his parents, began to weep on the soldier's shoulder. After a few minutes of hugging and crying, the child got up and the soldier stood erect. And there he noticed that right behind that child, a line of children had formed, waiting to receive a hug. After the pandemic, we're no longer allowed to hug each other. But now, while we have to be socially distant, we have to socially embrace one another. We cannot allow division and rivalry, rifts and even, God forbid, hatred to erupt in the United States of America. We have to make sure that the United States always remains united. Shabbat Shalom u'Mevorach to each and every one.